Hello there. Let's keep your week rolling just right with the right mix of news and conversations. And whether you're catching us online, on TV, or on the radio, hop on, join the chat. I'm Paolo de Rosario.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Asis-Carilo. We are simulcast on Mellow 94.7 BFM. Here's your daily dose of deep dives and good vibes. Welcome to
Beautiful Day! And it has been a bit gloomy still yet, but then you know what? Still beautiful day.
You see me always looking
check.
behind. We check our
Tama
window
naman.
over here.
Tama naman, of course. So we have to check all the time when it comes to that. Kasi syempre, that is a real reflection of what's
Hold on.
happening.
I love our color today. We're so in sync.
Well, we can't say naman it's not planned eh. Kasi we do have a
Yeah,
color
but
scheme.
I just throw generic colors. Like I
Yeah.
just said red. And then we just happen to wear the same shade
kasi
of
when you
burgundy.
Said, when you said red, I always thought na, hindi, we like wine. So yung burgundy,
Diba?
burgundy
Same
wine.
shade.
Yeah.
I love it.
So this is the treat for our radio listeners. Kailangan natin i-describe kung anong shade of red ang
Yes,
suot
yeah,
namin.
we're wearing the same shade of burgundy. If you want to see that, you have to grab your phone and watch us on Facebook or on YouTube so you can see what we're wearing today.
Yes, you can like, share, and comment as well. Because, I did mention you're on the radio. That's because
Yes.
simulcast nga tayo, like we mentioned. But of course, we got a jam-packed show, as always.
Oh, yeah. Later on, we'll be talking to our friends from the Department of Health.
Yes.
Apparently, this month is Generic Awareness Month.
Yes, it is.
So we'll be talking about generic medicine, maybe bust some myths about generic medicine. Because merong may parang, that notion where ayaw mong bumili ng generic because you feel like the branded ones are more effective. So later on, we are gonna bust some myths about
Yeah.
generic medicine.
Of course, it's also more affordable for
Yes,
those
of
who
course.
need, especially those who need a lot of a certain medicine. diba?
Mm-hmm,
So we're going to talk more about that. Later on, we're going to also have a Weather HQ interview. We're going to be talking to the DOST who have now developed a rainwater collection and purification system, disinfecting
Oh, that's
system.
good.
So yeah, so it'll be great for far-flung areas in
Yeah,
particular.
yeah,
So syempre,
right.
we're going to hear more about that later on. And of course, we have Besties Ask later on.
Teka lang, when you mentioned that, I kind of had a flashback
Yep.
to my childhood days where we would collect rainwater sa mga timba.
Oh, yeah.
And then we would use that for household chores.
Yeah, pero ito, nagdi-disinfect pa, nag-purify pa.
Oh, yeah.
Oo.
Medyo
So,
high-tech na now. But you know,
Yes.
when I was young, many years ago, talagang ganun yung ginagawa, no?
Like many years ago
Collecting
ka pa.
rainwater.
hindi na ako nag
Kasi
many years ago.
halata naman sa technology, no? Nagko-collect ng rainwater sa
Ngayon
timba.
naman, pwede ka maglabas ng baso or whatever yung sa collect rainwater. But yes, of
But
course,
yeah.
we also have Bessie's Ask later on.
Yes, we have a question for today. If fear did not exist, what would you be doing right now? So
Ayun.
we are going to be talking about later on. If you have already answers for that question, you can throw it our way already as early as now, and then maybe we can read that later on Facebook and on YouTube. There's a comment section there where you can send your replies to our
Yeah.
Besties Ask. You know what
course.
I would be doing if fear didn't exist?
You can save that for the segment.
mamaya
You can save it for the segment. Pati si Direk So it's like,
Teka lang.
wait lang, mamaya na.
ma-
Oo, but then of course, before we move on, I would like to extend our greetings to Alvin, yung asawa po ni Ann. Kasi nakalimutan ni Ann, i-greet yung asawa
hindi ko
niya.
naman nakalimutan.
na
I just
happy
didn't have-
anniversary and happy birthday. Okay? Kaya ako na lang yung mauuna.
Look at
Alright?
that. Those are our photos. Thank you so much, Elmer, for doing this for me. But yeah, it was...
Kasi
it was,
nakalimutan niya,
I did
kailangan niyang
not
pumawi.
I did not forget. But I wasn't gonna announce the anniversary. I was just gonna announce the birthday. But that's my daughter. Oh my God, I'm showing this to the public. So now you know what my family looks like.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Pag nakita nyo kami sa mall, opo, kami po yan. The famous roller coaster
yeah,
photo.
that's
You
a
love
roller-
this.
That's a roller coaster.
You love making fun of this.
No, look, this was almost proof that you committed homicide. Pero alam mo, when we take a look at this,
Disclaimer, hindi po ako yung nagpilit sa
can
kanyang
I just say,
dyan.
may heart problems si Alvin, and then Anne's like, uy, mag-roller coaster
I
ka."
did not invite him to ride. Siya
Anyway,
nag-volunteer.
so the reason why, I just want to explain to all of our viewers and listeners,
Okay, sige.
ganito po bumawi ang mga TV hosts. kapag may nakalimutan na
Hindi ko
holiday, na
nakalimutan.
event,
I just,
o ano.
there wasn't
Hindi
a
lang kasi-
chance kasi we were greeting BNC happy anniversary yesterday. Tapos may cake for the
may clue ka na eh. Uy,
anniversary, no?
may anniversary yung BNC. Uy, anniversary din namin. Why not? No, I'm just saying, okay, ganito yon. When we forget something, we normally, bumabawi tayo. Pang love hacks to eh. Sayang wala si Coach Phil. Pang love hacks to. Pero, okay, si Anne forgot both the anniversary
I did not
and the birthday.
Hindi po yan totoo. Huwag po kayo maniniwala kay Paolo del Rosario. I just didn't have the chance yesterday to do it because nga we were highlighting the BNC anniversary. Anyway, guys.
Let's move on because we have to
Let's
talk
move
about
on.
the traffic today.
Yes. Before anything else, we have a jam-packed lineup of headlines today. But first, we check the situation in major roads at this hour. First up, here is what's happening along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. On the left side of your screens, you're seeing vehicles heading to Quiapo. Moderate to heavy traffic already building up on that lane. Opposite side, the right side of your screens, you're seeing vehicles heading to Quezon Memorial Circle. Light to moderate traffic on that stretch. Now, here is a look at EDSA Orense in Makati. Left side of your screens are vehicles heading to Pasay City. We're seeing heavy traffic already on that lane. Opposite side, everything green and gold. Right side of your screens, you're seeing vehicles heading to Shaw Boulevard. Light traffic there on that stretch. And drive safe, please. Roads are slippery when wet, so make sure you drive carefully and fasten that seatbelt. Now, heads up to motorists. The expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's a Wednesday today, so vehicles with license plates ending in 5 and 6 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Time to check out today's weather forecast with Paolo on Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
Thank you so much, Anne. Let's take a look at the weather across the country. Now, we're going to still be focusing on the easterlies because we're still feeling the warm winds of the easterlies affecting southern Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Now, for our kababayans in Luzon, let's go there first. Now, from Isabela all the way down to Bicol, including Aurora, and in Quezon, Marinduque, Batangas, Laguna, and Rizal, you can expect cloudy skies and scattered rains and thunderstorms. Now, over in Metro Manila, you can, as well as Mimaropa and Cavite, you can expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies for most of the day. But keep in mind, afternoons and evenings, you can still expect showers. Now, if you're heading to work, school, or even catching the after-work milk tea run, I have no idea why that was included in our script, but siguro kailangan ng milk tea ng writer natin. Bring an umbrella, and as Anne mentioned a while ago, stay safe on the road. The roads are slippery when wet, and we've seen traffic starting to build up, especially over in Metro Manila. But good day in Visayas, because you can generally expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies. Don't let your guard down. The easterlies can still bring those sudden afternoon or evening downpours that we saw with the hanging abagat, that not just quite as strong. Whether you're enjoying a lakao in Cebu City or getting ready for dinner in Iloilo, it's always wise to keep your dry gear handy. Now, moving on to our friends in Mindanao, it'll be generally a hot day with partly cloudy to cloudy skies. But by the afternoon, you can still expect the isolated thunderstorms. So if you're out and about in Davao or in Cagayan, make sure that, Cagayan de Oro rather, make sure that you stay hydrated and prepare for a quick sudden shower just in case the weather just changes. But Pag-asa says now that in terms of our sea conditions, seas across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao will be generally light to moderate today. Good news not just for our fisher folk, but also for tourists planning island trips or beach activities, since small to medium boats can head out more to safety. Still, safety comes first. Always check your local advisories and make sure you're well prepared before sailing. Now, at 5:10 a.m. today, let's go take a focus on Canlaon Volcano, which emitted ash from its summit crater. This according to Fivox. Footage from Fivox show grayish plumes rising up to 600 meters above the crater. Authorities remind the public that Alert Level 2 remains in effect over Canlaon, which means that the volcano is in a state of unrest and may still produce further activity. So we'll be monitoring that as the days go by. That's it for Weather HQ at the moment, though. And back to you.
Thank you so much, Pao. Now on to our top stories this morning. The Senate President pro tempore, Ping Lacson, unveiled startling revelations during his privileged speech in the Senate yesterday. One of them being 5 DPWH officials who he calls the BGC Boys. Henry Alcantara, Bryce Hernandez, JP Mendoza, RJ Dumasig, and Edric Sandiego, who allegedly used fake names and driver's licenses to play in various casinos around the country using government funds. According to PAGCO records, the group has lost almost 1 billion pesos to casinos.
Parang nakinikinita ko na, Mr. President, na nagtatawanan pa ang mga matatalinong matching na ito habang nagbibiyahe papuntang kasino, dala ang kwartang kinulimbat habang naglilimas ng tubig baha papalabas ng kanilang mga bahay ang mga pobreng taga Bulacan.
Senator Lacson says that these BGC boys will be facing various charges such as malversation through falsification of public documents and violation of the anti-graft law, anti-plunder law, and anti-money laundering act. So BGC, Bulacan Group of Contractors, as they are known to casino employees. So imagine that, a loss of almost 1 billion pesos.
Yes, I mean, like, it's not a lot of it also with casinos being involved. First of all, government officials shouldn't be in casinos. And one of the reasons why they were able to get in is due to falsification of identification. That mentioned by Senator Lacson. I was listening to the hearing, and he also made references na, alam mo, you have to be careful when you say BGC Boys because you still remember Bonifacio Global City.
So they're not people hanging out in BGC.
Yes, hindi daw taga High Street daw, to taga Hell Street daw. Yan yung joke ni Senator
Bulacan
Lacson.
Group of Contractors. Yan, that's why they're labeled as BGC Boys. You know, according to the report also last night on Agenda, Hannity's report, the wins, yung panalo nila JP Mendoza, these BGC Boys, umabot ng 320 million pesos just for JP Mendoza, 189 million pesos for Bryce Hernandez, and mahigit 11 million kay Edric Sandiego. Those are the wins.
Yes.
So Senator Lacson was saying that he's doubtful that these are actual wins or front lang for a possible money laundering.
He also
case.
detailed how there were possible ways for them to misdeclare yung wins nila sa chips. Depending on kapag natalo sila, they are able to declare a certain amount, and that will still be classified as a win. So again, there's a lot of skirting of the law, legally speaking, both within the casinos, which they shouldn't be in the first place, and of course when it comes to the amount of money that has been thrown about by this BGC group. Pero syempre, right now, investigations are still ongoing. And could you imagine, we're still only talking about just one province.
Yeah.
So,
Bulacan lang.
Oh,
And you know
Bulacan lang to.
what makes people angry right now is the fact that they were in those casinos, according to records, during the month of August when people were actually suffering from, yung baha, right?
Napaka-recent. And even it makes you think as well, like how casual this is. Diba?
Yeah.
So we're going to see more developments with this soon. Obviously, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
We are not done. And this is just our first item. So,
in fact, your second item is related to this one.
Absolutely. Because Senator Panfilo Lacson also says former Public Works Secretary Manuel Bonoan had ties with Candaba Mayor Rene Maglanque, who he said was a contractor who secured billion-peso flood control deals in Bulacan. Now, Lacson claims Maglanque was the president of Global Crete Builders, which bagged over 2 billion pesos worth of projects. Lacson also pointed to a Clark Hotel owned by MBB Global Properties run by the daughter of Maglanque ex-DPWH Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo and Bonoan. He argues this is why Bonoan downplayed reports of ghost projects when confronted by President Marcos.
Now, Senators Jinggoy Estrada and Joel Villanueva are now being linked to the flood control scandal they themselves had been investigating. Former DPWH Bulacan Assistant District Engineer Bryce Hernandez told a House hearing that the two received millions in kickbacks from projects in Bulacan. He presented photos, receipts, and even messages allegedly showing cash deliveries and fund requests.
Sabi ni Senator Marcoleta kahapon, ligtas ka na. Hindi po ito totoo. Si Senator Jinggoy Estrada, Senator Joel Villanueva, Yusek Robert Bernardo, at D. Alcantara. Si Senator Jinggoy po ay nagbaba ng 355 million ngayong 2025. Noong 2023 naman, ay naglabas ng 600 million si Senator Joel Villanueva.
Lawmakers promised to place Hernandez under protection as he continues to testify. So apparently, they are not marked safe from this. Remember the joke that Senator Marcoleta said during the Blue Ribbon hearing na marked safe. So
Safe ka na.
Yeah, na safe ka na. So
Yeah, working on the
Wow.
quote of that. Yeah, and of
it's
course,
it's so hard to discuss this because ang hirap, ang bigat ng allegations.
yes. And first of all, we're taking a look at the photos of some of the money. Na,
Nakakagalit, di ba, Paolo?
yeah,
I
oh,
mean, we
akala
pay
mo, akala mo scene galing sa Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
Actually, yan yung
yeah.
naalala ko eh. There's one particular part of the series na yun na talagang pinapakita nila yung pera that illegally gotten. And ito, ill-gotten wealth din. That has been collected and of course distributed allegedly. But even if big names were mentioned, I think it's important to note that at this point they are still allegations, and of course the burden of proof
Yes.
still lies with the
And even if-
accusers.
Yeah, and even if Bryce Hernandez presented these receipts,
Yes, these photos.
they still need to be investigated,
Yes.
checked,
Tama.
verified, and everything, right?
Because it's easy to now name names at this
Yes.
point. And syempre, there are going to be some names that siguro walang kinalaman, but at the same time, not to say that the names mentioned are shouldn't be investigated. Pero what I'm saying is that unless there's actual evidence to prove and connect concretely, the judgment has to be at least be a bit
Yes.
reserved. Has to be reserved rather as this investigation goes on. Kasi talaga medyo mahirap eh. If all these allegations fly and matik guilty na yung
Alam mo,
ano.
ang nakakatakot pagka nabanggit ka sa privilege
Oh,
speech
yeah.
ni Senator Lacson.
Oh.
Diba? Kasi Senator Lacson was quoted as saying, yesterday we were talking about the Undersecretary, DPWH Undersecretary Maria Catalina Cabral, 'di ba? Si Senator Lacson din yung naglabas ng kanyang pangalan being behind the 2026 budget insertions. And when she denied these allegations to Secretary Dizon, sabi ni Senator Lacson, she should know, and I quote, she should know that I don't talk without proof.
Yes. And apart from all of this, right? We also have to talk about yung mga reactions to this.
Yes.
Yes, Senator Estrada has categorically denied knowing the people involved. Of course, we've also... This is not the first time, by the way, Senator Villanueva has been linked.
Linked to something.
Yes, to link to some
like this,
some of the
yes.
works, right? Especially, I believe there have been videos of him inspecting bridges
Yeah.
alongside some of the officials mentioned in the past. So, syempre may konting connection doon, or at least history in the sense that this has been addressed in the past as well. So again, we're gonna see how it develops even more, because right now the allegations are getting heavier and heavier.
Heavier and
Diba?
heavier, yes.
Oh. So now we gotta move on, because former Public Works Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo has reportedly left for the United States amid his name being dragged into the flood control scandal. Now, this guy has told a Senate hearing he demanded up to 25% commission from project budgets. Bernardo, a longtime DPWH official with close ties to former President Joseph Estrada, denied the claims and presented documents showing he faces no administrative cases. Now, moving on here, we gotta move on to sports. A bit lighter news here. Kasi ang
Yes,
bigat
please.
talaga. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're gonna be talking about that all day. You can catch all our coverage on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel, for more, because I can guarantee you, it's been must-watch TV. Talking about all of the
these
hearings and all of the
cases.
developments.
Yes.
And we're gonna, I'm sure, know more about tomorrow. So, yes, moving on. In sports, the Philippine men's under-23 football team takes a dominant 4-0 win against Nepal in the AFC Under-23 Asian Cup qualifiers, but still falls short of making it to the next round due to goal difference. It was a bittersweet day for the Filipinos, who saw Otto Banatao, Javier Mariona, Sandro Reyes, and Dov Carino all score. Now, despite the positive result, they finish 10 goals short from making it to the next round of the competition. The young Filipinos will next see action in the 2025 Southeast Asian Games taking place in Thailand this December. Now moving on to the NBA, Chicago Bulls guard Josh Giddey just locked in a 4-year, $100 million extension. The 22-year-old is coming off his best season yet, averaging nearly 15 points with career highs in rebounds, assists, and steals. In 280 career games, Australian has averaged 14.1 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 6.1 assists. With 3,942 points, Giddey now joins legends like Luka Doncic, Ben Simmons, and LeBron James as one of only 8 players to reach those minimum thresholds in just 4 seasons.
Now, here's your first cup of tea this morning. Hilary Duff is making a comeback to music after nearly a decade away. She just signed with Atlantic Records and will star in a docu-series about her return to making music. The series promises to show her balancing family life, recording sessions, and live rehearsal. Duff's last album came out in 2015, and this marks her first big step back into the music spotlight. Over the past decade, Duff has focused more on acting, appearing on Younger and How I Met Your Father. I was looking at the comment section when I saw this article this morning, and one of the people who posted said, MySpace is celebrating. Kasi diba? That was the time when yun yung mga uso, MySpace, Friendster ba? Nung time na yun.
Friendster,
I think
Multiply,
so. Yeah, Multiply,
Satin,
there you go.
Multiply.
Kasi it's like a throwback thing. The last time she came out with an album was 2015. So, you know, it's a big hiatus.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is what dreams are made of. You know, it feels like it's so yesterday, minsan, when you talk about Hilary Duff. But it's great to see her back, and it decides to come alongside a docu-series.
Yes.
And hopefully, I wish her all the success.
And the docuseries sounds exciting also because I believe the producer of that docuseries has also worked with Taylor Swift. Yeah, so there you go. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what kind of sound she's going to pick for her comeback.
Yeah, you know, she was such a
Is she
host.
sticking with pop or maybe like see Ed Sheeran is thinking of going country, diba? Maybe she'll shift to a different genre.
Perhaps. Ako personally, I was just happy with how wholesome Hilary Duff was.
Back then,
Yeah, you
yeah.
know, just growing up, just watching, obviously the whole Lizzie McGuire thing.
Yeah.
When I forgot how old I was as a teenager, diba? Pero yeah, I mean, like, you know, and I felt that she made the name Paolo very popular for
Paolo?
a certain time.
Why?
Yeah, yung sa movie, yung Lizzie McGuire the movie, yung Sing For Me, Paolo. Sing For Me.
Ayun.
But yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that
Oo.
conversation.
Oo, that was-
yes,
that
you
was-
had
that was
with
fun.
Mo. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So our second cup of tea this time, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says that Jumanji 4 will begin filming this November, according to Jumanji movies. And I loved Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart in it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love all of that, of course, when you talk about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I had to say his whole name. But then
Oo nga
when you talk about The Rock, it's nice to see...
Mag-film, but we're excited
Yes.
to see that. Looking forward to that. And that is our tea for today.
Absolutely. So, after the break, we'll hear more about an innovative project from the DOST-ITDI and know why it matters to every Filipino. Don't go away. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. The DOST-ITDI developed a modular rainwater collection system with its own disinfection technology. Now, this makes stored rainwater safer to use, especially during calamities and emergencies. Now, TDI. Magandang umaga, Doc Margarito. Thank you so much for joining us here on Beautiful Day.
Hello, magandang umaga, Paolo, sa mga nakikinig at nanonood sa inyong news channel.
Doc, let's focus on yung modular rainwater collection and disinfection system. Can you tell us a bit more muna about yung system na to, what makes it special, and of course, just how much rainwater are we able to actually convert and disinfect in a certain amount of time?
Yeah, so yung ating our rainwater collection system is a modular, as mentioned po, na pwede pong dagdagan or kung depende sa capacity. So ito po ay madaling i-assemble, disassemble, ilipat sa iba't ibang lugar. Kaya napapakinabangan sa mga ibang lugar, region, remote areas, like for example, nagkaroon kami ng installation ito sa sa Marawi, sa mga kampo po, sa iba pang remote areas. And recently, nag-donate po kami sa San Juan ng sa LGU po ng San Juan yung ng rainwater collection system. And together with another facility po, yung another treatment, we can do disinfection po on the rainwater na and then make it potable. So it's another technology po na in-offer din po ng ITDI. So from rainwater, magiging potable din po siya. So ang capacity po nito is 1,000 liters po.
1,000 liters po. So we want to also give credit to the researchers and the team behind this project. Can you tell us a bit more about yung proseso po, yung timeline nila, and of course, just who were the people who came together po to make this all happen?
So ang project po nito ay nagsimula nung kasagsagan po ng I think kung sa Marawi, and naabutan ko na po kasama po ang aming mga previous na mga nag-retire na po yung mga nagpasimula nito. Sila Doc Bless, sila Basilia, sila Doc Maurice and Ma'am Josie. And eto po during the Marawi siege po, so may mga dineploy po ng mga system nito, and yun sa rainwater collection system. And for the water treatment po na disinfection, that's for the grupo nila, Engineer Ray Sigera, ang aking pong may bahay na Primordial Margarito. Sila po yan, yung team po nila, sila Dante Vergara, yung nag-produce po nitong water treatment system naman from rainwater and other source of water po.
Doc, can you tell us a bit more about yung treatment system, yung disinfection nila? Because obviously, very important step in making rainwater safe. Minsan, sasabi ng mga ibang tao, rainwater, dapat malinis na yun eh. But why is it important to disinfect? And of course, what type of disinfection does the system actually perform?
So, tama, Paolo, no, yung rainwater, actually, pag malinis na yan, but the source will be, will have a contamination. Yung sa rainwater collection system natin is dumadaan kasi sa mga bubong, which we cannot guarantee po yung safety niya. So, may mga debris or and during initial downpour ng rain, so may mga sa hangin, may mga dumi and contamination. So, kailangan po natin i-treat to before natin gawin. So, yung sa sa treatment system naman po, it includes a process called na coagulation. So, wherein may dinadagdag na coagulant yung ferrichloride para magbuo yung mga dumi or mga contaminant, including mga heavy metals. And then, nag-undergo siya ng several treatment like filtration, activated carbon, and disinfection using UV light. So, ito po ay isang standalone with solar-powered po. So, pwede po kahit brownout or walang kuryente sa lugar na ito. So, ito po yung system na nakikita niya. Ito po yung model na 3D printed and na showcase sa Geneva po nung last year po, and nanalo po ng award during that time. And marami na rin pong pwedeng gamitin bukod sa rainwater po, na hindi pwede rin pong gamitin yung yung mga sa ilog or sa mga groundwater, kasi hindi rin natin ma-ensure na safe din po yung sa groundwater. So may mga different source sa surface, sa mga ilog, sa mga rivers. So yun yung pwede natin gamitin itong mga treatment system na to.
So, sir, when apart from obviously, sinabi mo nga po, it's not just rainwater, could also work with different water, like for example, groundwater, as you mentioned. When it comes to the contaminants that it is trying to address, most usually found in rainwater, nasabi niyo nga po, because of the wind, there are going to be particles or there are going to be factors that do not make it safe for consumption. When we take a look at the key contaminants na kailangan talaga tanggalin to make sure that water is potable, what are those contaminants na talagang hinahanap or at least talagang ina-address ng system na to?
Opo. So, yung system na to, halos karamihan po ng contaminants ay kaya pong tanggalin except po yung sa seawater or salt, no. Sa halimbawa, sa yung mga galing sa rainwater or sa mga source ng ilog. So may mga unang-una yung mga tinatawag nila suspended particulates. So makikita mo pag tinignan mo yung tubig, may mga makita kang mga parang maliliit na. So yung tinatawag na suspended particulate. Pero may yung mga na-dissolve na na substance. So possible po yung mga arsenic or yung mga heavy metals na poisonous din in the end. And yung isa pang contaminant na medyo concerned sa mga other source is yung microbiological, which can cause several diseases na like diarrhea or typhoid or cholera. So yun yung mga sometimes during this episode ng mga rain, so may mga outbreak ng ganitong mga diseases. So natatanggal din po dito with the series of treatment including UV disinfection, filtration, and activated carbon. So lastly, meron siya activated carbon, so natatanggal din po yung amoy and yung lasa po na associated with the organic, tinatawag natin organic matter po.
Yung cost estimate po nito is around 300 to 400,000 pesos. When you talk about yung communities that are and LGUs that are trying to use this particular technology po, can we talk a bit more about yung adaptation nila po? Which LGUs and communities can actually invest in this system and actually make the best use of it po?
So, actually may marami na LGs na nag-adopt nito. No? So, given yung investment na 200 to 300,000 for the facility, and actually yung system is mataas yung capacity niya. I think nasa 200 liters per hour naman yung treatment. And we can treat a lot of volume. And yung cost, I think yung cost ng treatment is less than 50 centavos per liter po yung I'm not sure the exact amount kung magkano po yung treatment nung per liter ng water, but it's less than 50 centavos po. So yun yung And we encourage through our regional office, yung mga LGU, if you need this technology, we can provide po yun sa regional office namin. And in addition, ito pong technology na to, I think dineclare nila as public good na tinatawag. So yung mga royalty is na-waive na. So we can reduce the price of this to help a lot of people all over the country.
Doc, we have to go in just a bit, but before I let you go, can we know how many of these systems have already been deployed around the country? And of course, normally, what areas do you see it being used the most?
So actually, I think more than 10 for both system. I'm not sure dun sa exact amount kasi may mga ongoing pa na deployment and construction or fabrication. So yun yung and a lot of areas or province in the Philippines would like to use this system since mataas po yung output. Lalo po yung yung recent na nila sa Rizal na talagang remote areas and they need to bring this manual kasi tatawid siya ng ilog in bundok. So yun yung kagandahan nito. So standalone siya, you don't need the electrical outlet, you don't need the power source. So pwede siyang mag-operate basta there's a source na pwede natin pong gamitin na for this for treatment. And so far, yun, safe naman po yung and I think a lot of the community that this technology were deployed, very grateful that they had this deployed in their system. So actually isa pang idagdag ko lang, so yung mga areas na may mga volcanic eruption, so nagkaroon ng contamination ng heavy metals na natitreat din po ng system, and na-reduce po yung mga diseases associated with this kind of contaminants po.
Napaka-timely po considering na nasa alert level 2 ang Mount Canlaon ngayon. Maraming salamat po. Thank you so much for joining us. He is the Chief of the Material Science Division of the DOST-ITDI, Dr. Margarito. Maraming salamat po. Have a great morning.
Maraming salamat, Paolo.
Now, that's it for Weather HQ at the moment, as we are able to talk more about the efforts to clean water, rainwater, and make it more efficient, and of course make it more safe for those in more far-flung areas and those in the provinces. As mentioned a while ago, a good use of that is right now around the Canlaon area, Mount Canlaon area, where it's able to treat rainwater than other water sources that have been affected by the alert level 2 there. But that's Weather HQ for a moment, and back to you.
Thank you, Pao. Now it's time for the ultimate crossover to brighten up your day. DJ Yan joins us all the way from the Mellow 94.7 BFM studio. Good morning, bestie. Are you there?
Good morning,
There
bestie.
you are. Hi, Yan. Good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Paolo, halika na. Join us. So, what is our topic today, DJ Yan? Let us know.
Well, okay. If fear didn't exist, what would you be doing right now?
If fear did not exist.
What would you be doing?
Well.
We actually prepared our answers to that question since yesterday. But
Yeah.
Since you're the host of this segment, you go first.
We'll go first. My real answer was just to learn basketball. I'm scared of balls.
You're scared of balls.
But like,
Di ba courtside
I'm
reporter ka
scared
dati?
of ball. But for the sake of this segment, my
Okay.
answer would be I'd rather go to a class alone. Like I really don't like doing new things alone. So probably going to like a spin class alone or
Okay.
boxing alone.
Okay.
Something like that.
Wait lang. Ay, hindi ba ako makaget over eh. Courtside reporter ka dati, di ba? DJ yan.
Yeah, I was.
And takot ka sa bola?
Yeah.
So
Ano
you
kasi
lived in
matamaan
fear
siya.
every day?
I live in fear every day. That makes me a brave person.
That is so cute.
Okay. All right. So how about you, Ann?
Me, if fear did not exist, I would be three things. I would be a triathlete, a skydiver, and the next Dolly De Leon.
Okay.
Okay, first, triathlete, because I have this fear of biking outdoors, which is really funny because I used to be a cycling instructor. So I'm okay with
Cycling
cycling
instructor or
kilometers.
spin instructor?
Spinning.
Kasi
Spinning.
cycling, di ba cycling sa labas yun?
Hindi kasi
Kapag
Yeah.
spin sa loob.
no, there's actually a class labeled as cycling. So parang meron siyang ganun. Basta when different types of spinning classes, there's one that's also called cycling. So
I
you know,
have thoughts,
yeah.
but go on.
So there, but I am so afraid of biking outdoors. So probably if that fear was taken out of me, I'd be a triathlete. Because I remember when I was teaching, I'd have triathletes attending my class because that's where they train. Because apparently, parang mas okay daw to train in an indoor cycling class compared to outside. Kasi parang mas naano yung legs, something with the legs. So anyway, they were already inviting me to join their teams, and I was like, no, I can't bike outside.
Or are you a duathlete?
Duathlete pwede, but nga no. I don't know. I've never
Kasi
tried.
sabi mo, biking lang yung problema mo eh. So mag-duathlete ka.
Swimming, yes. You know, another fear is swimming in open water.
Okay.
Kasi that's kind of scary. I mean, I can swim, but open water, tas medyo malalim na. I have second thoughts. Skydiving, because I'm just really afraid of extreme sports. And I feel like that's the most extreme. So, I have fear of dying. Or, no, actually, my fear is getting physically hurt. So, kaya ayoko rin mag-bike outside. Ayokong sumemplang. Ayokong mapilay. I don't want scars on my face.
Sorry ha,
Mga
akala
ganyan.
ko related to the swimming mo kasi when you said you had fear of dying, naisip ko, bangus.
Dying. Ayan na naman yung, akala ko dying inside.
Nag-get si DJ yan.
Got it. That's why she's afraid of open water. Because she's afraid of the fish.
Oo, kaya nga takot siya sa daing eh.
Yeah. And then last, I will be the next Dolly De Leon probably if I didn't have this fear of being not good enough. I have that. It's a weird kind of fear. You know, I always feel like I don't want to try new things because I feel like I'm not good enough for it. So there, I'd probably just because I've always wanted to be an actress, theater, or you know, like an actress. So there.
Kaya maarte na lang si...
Oo, kaya nag-voice acting na lang ako, dubbing na lang. Kasi ganun din naman yun. We're acting but behind the scenes.
One step there.
So there.
Yeah, no, ako naman, when you ask this, if fear didn't exist, what would you be doing? Yung iniisip ko bigla is yung pursuing higher education. So yung master's ko, doctoral, kasi it's more of yung fear of missing out on certain opportunities sa trabaho. Right? So, kasi syempre, kapag
okay,
nag-aaral
yeah,
ka,
yes.
you need to sacrifice,
You need
right?
to
You need to
commit your
sacrifice.
time.
Oh, especially
Yeah.
as an adult, ha? Kapag naging choice na to study and pursue something else, right? So for those taking MBAs right now in
Yeah, I get
general,
you.
or those taking their masters and doctorates, I mean, like, it becomes a professional choice, diba? Professional choice that you have to be able to split your real life and then yung school life mo. Yung problema is that, well, at least sa industriya natin, if you do so, you have to let go of all these opportunities. Ako siguro yung fear of letting things pass by
Yeah.
and not being able to take an opportunity. Like, I look back at you know, career highlights ko. If I went to school, there was probably going to be a time that I would have missed out on Tokyo Olympics, or maybe I might have missed out on calling the FIFA
Yeah.
Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
So may mga ganun
Yeah.
na yung mga missed opportunity costs.
Yeah.
Yan yung ano
Because
ko.
of
Oo.
schedule. Kasi
Yes.
kailangan mo talaga ng time commitment when you study.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pero diba DJ yan? Ganun naman yung mga estudyante dapat.
Dapat, actually.
Student, come on.
No, but
Alright.
then,
Yeah, I know
have
what
we
you
heard
do.
anything from your end, from those who have put up their own answers so far?
Yeah, we do have people over at Facebook, 947 Mellow. They were saying if fear didn't exist, they'd probably audition to be a DJ right now,
Wow.
or probably
yeah,
they'd be
yeah.
traveling solo, and probably like we have a lot. Maybe they'll just be trying new things as well. So basically, same as me, we're
Yeah.
scared of trying new things alone.
Kasi really, your fear hinders you from exploring and experimenting and trying new things. You know what? I just realized, no, ang dami palang tao na they're afraid of doing things by themselves.
Like me.
Yeah, 'di ba? Parang solo, traveling solo.
Yeah.
Most people
I know,
I've
yeah.
spoken with would say na, wow, kasi I used to like go to Singapore by myself or even go to Boracay by myself, and they'd be like, wow, you're so brave. Lalo na when you go to a country na medyo magkakaroon ng medyo malolost in translation ka. Kasi sometimes they're not, they don't speak in English, diba? So, and then you have to use maps. And then you go there alone. So, they have that fear. Have you ever traveled
Yeah.
by yourself?
Yeah, and I enjoy it.
Okay.
I really enjoy not having to care already
Not having to take care of, not
Oo.
having to take care of anyone with you, diba?
Yeah.
And you're just free to go around by yourself.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's freeing. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, DJ.
No, because I get lost easily. So it's just that if I'm alone, who am I gonna ask for information? I don't like talking to
Punta ka sa
different
police
people I don't
station.
know.
Na hindi rin nag-English. No, pero
Punta ka sa police station. Tulungan ka nila.
but I really enjoy that
Yeah.
that whole conversation, kasi syempre if we're talking about fear, diba? There's always going to be a lot of discussion
Yeah.
when it comes to you know, ano yung na-miss natin and what you let fear holding you back on. So for everyone watching here, kung takot kayo, just skydive.
Just
Just
do
get
it.
out there, talon.
Conquer your fears. It's easier said than done.
Oo,
though.
kasi yun, because of this, in a few weeks' time, si Anne is going to go skydiving.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
In my dreams.
No. Anong in your dreams? So if anyone is offering services online
Oh
or
my
would like to
God.
sponsor Anne's skydiving experience, kasi sabi niya, she wants to get over that
Umuulan
fear.
daw, sabi ni Direk, hindi pwede mag-skydive.
Oh, ngayon, kaya next week na. Kaya guys, just please reach out. And then of course, for schools who want to offer me a scholarship para mga masters na ako. Nandito lang po kami. DJ Yan, maraming salamat. Really
Thank
appreciate
you so much, bestie DJ Yan. Till our next hangout on Wednesday. Bye! So, hindi ko pala nasabi if fear didn't exist, I'd probably doing flood control projects. But
I was, pwede rin. Dapat may fear ka dun. I mean, like, at least takot sa Diyos,
takot,
diba?
yeah, yun nga, exactly. That's why, diba? We're not being corrupt. We're not having ghost flood control projects kasi may konsyensya ka diba?
Yeah, it's so good.
But that was so fun.
Yeah, pero alam mo, talagang, guys, Lasal, scholarship, I'm just saying. Why not?
Ako naman, since I mentioned Dolly De Leon. Hi, Dolly De Leon. If you're watching, you're always free to guest on Beautiful Day.
Yung unang tanong sa'yo ni Ann, how to be you po.
How to be you?
Alright, so we gotta move on here because up next, did you know that every September is Generics Awareness Month? Now, we talked to a veteran in the medicine industry, Dr. Erwin Benedicto, on the importance of generic medicine in promoting accessible healthcare. Don't go away. Beautiful Day will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. This Generics Awareness Month, we talk with industry veteran Dr. Erwin Benedicto on how generic medicines help promote accessible healthcare here on Health Matters. Magandang umaga, Doc Erwin. Thank you for joining us here on Beautiful Day. Welcome to Health Matters.
Thank you, and beautiful day to both of you.
Doc, simulan muna natin sa Generics Awareness Month. And of course, we're all familiar with the term generics. But then, why are we trying to raise awareness for this? What is the reason at bakit ito nasimulan?
Okay. Generics law has been passed in the Philippines in 1998 with the intent that the innovative drugs or the drugs that has been first discovered and brought to the market should be cheaper. That's why we have these generic drugs that are developed so that those that are innovative drugs can have a similar effect when we have the generic drugs in the market. So the intent is to make the drugs available and accessible to most Filipinos.
Doc, we often hear generics are the same as brand name medicines, just without the label. Can you break that down for us simply? What makes generic medicine just as safe and effective?
Okay, first of all, I don't think, coming from the pharmacological point of view, that we need to compare branded and generic names.
Mm-hmm.
There are only two kinds of drugs in the market, and we call them either innovator drugs. These are the drugs that are first discovered in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Example, for the acetylcysteine, or we usually call it aspirin. This is the innovator drug for that particular group of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
The other drug that follows are called generics, whether they are branded or not.
Mm-hmm.
More common example is the amlodipine, the innovator drug that has been brought to the market. The first drug is called the drug that has been developed by Pfizer. And all the drugs that follow after amlodipine are generic drugs, regardless.
Well, Doc, right now we're having a bit of problem with your connection. We're going to try to clear that up. Sorry,
think
Doc.
he's back.
The notion
Mhm.
that generics and
Sorry, Doc, we're gonna try and clear up your connection at the moment because right now, obviously, we're still talking about the Generics Awareness Month. Of course, we're still joined by Dr. Erwin Benedicto, who was an industry veteran, and of course, he was just saying a while ago, talking about the comparisons of generic drugs and of course, yung mga branded natin.
drugs.
Doc, I believe you were talking about yung aspirin just a while ago. If you can continue your point.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, sorry for that. Sorry, I'm in a vacation right now. That's why my internet is a little bit poor. But nevertheless,
Okay.
I'd like to emphasize that there are two kinds of drugs that we are always have to put in our mind as consumers. It's either innovator drugs. These are the drugs that has been first introduced in the market. While generic drugs are those drugs that are only made after the innovator drugs have lost their patency. Example is the Asis-Carilo. And the rest of the drug that follows are just simply generic drugs, regardless whether they are branded or not. Another example is amlodipine of Pfizer. Amlodipine was first introduced to the market by Pfizer. So this is the innovator drug. The rest of the amlodipine that follows are just generic drugs, regardless of whether they are branded or not. Now the question is innovator drugs similar to generic drugs? Yes, as long as physicochemical, they are the same, and these particular generic drugs have undergone bioequivalence or bioavailability study, wherein the drug that has been the innovator drug should be compared to generic drugs in terms of how much of the drug, when taken in, will be available in our blood.
Okay.
Doc, one of the things that are a lot of people are curious about is the quality, the efficacy, of generic drugs compared to the branded medicines. Is there something that we have to emphasize with regards to that? Because some people say that, oh, they're just as effective. It's just the name is different, or if you're branded, then you're going to have a better effect, or maybe less side effects, or maybe even something more. What are the myths that we can bust when it comes to comparing the two?
When we try to compare generic drugs and innovator drugs, and generic drugs, whether they are branded or not, first, number one, we have to look at in terms of how the way the drugs are manufactured. Number two, if they did undergo clinical trials. Number three, we have also to check whether how the way the drugs that we are buying are coming from reputable companies. What I'm trying to drive is that regardless if generic or branded, as long as we know the source, then they are the same. From the standpoint of consumer, how do we able to know them? First, we have to check, number one, that the drug, regardless generic, branded, or innovator, has been approved by the local FDA. So there's no biases. They are all the same because they have been approved. Number two, we have to check for the expiration date. Number three, we have to ensure that we bought or we buy them from a reputable store wherein the storage conditions of the drug are preserved from the time that they are manufactured until they are being bought by the consumers. So in terms of how the way we compare them, as long as they're approved by the FDA, they're all equivalent in terms of efficacy and quality.
Doc, can you explain to us how can generic medicine afford to be cheaper?
Okay, innovator drugs are the one that should be expensive because they underwent clinical trial. They are the one who are able to discover the molecule. They're able to make it available to humans doing clinical trial. And coming from pharmaceutical company, we have invested billions of dollars on that. That's why we try to have a patent so that we will enjoy in terms of the marketing of that particular drug for the period of time. Once we lost the patent, then generic comes in. Now the question, what makes a generic versus the branded generic higher in terms of the pricing, because if we have branded, there is what we call a marketing component to it.
Okay.
The brand name should be marketed so that it will be well reminded to the physician and to the consumers.
Well, sir, some people feel that because it's cheaper, it's, as we mentioned a while ago, and you addressed well po, that it is less effective. Yan yung at least yung misconception for some of them. But some people also are wondering, is it safe considering the price point is lower, and of course, syempre the brand is not necessarily there when it comes to generics?
About efficacy and safety of the drug, all drugs are not safe in all circumstances. That's why, whether we buy it generic or branded, to all consumers, please ensure to look at number one, that these are FDA approved, which means they are legitimate to be registered in the Philippines and they underwent the scrutiny of our regulatory body. Number two, look at also the manufacturing, whether these are reputable company to which you are trying to be known of. So in terms of comfortability of that company, you should also bear in mind that I want that not because of the generic or the brand, because of the company itself. And number three, see to it, whether it's branded or generic, you bought it or you purchased it coming from a reputable store to which they properly store the drugs. Because whether it's generic or brand, the efficacy or the effectiveness of the drug will be compromised if they are not properly stored. Please take note that the drug should be stored within a specific temperature level, especially those that are biologic. So those are the things that we need to consider. We don't need to compare about the generics or the branding, but these are the factors that we want to consider when buying drugs.
So in terms of efficacy and safety, branded medicine, generic medicine, they are the same. It is very important lang that you get them from a reputable source or reputable pharmacy.
Yeah, reliable.
Right, Doc? But
Yeah,
I have a question. How come yung ibang mga doctors, they don't really prescribe or recommend generic medicine, or maybe not as often?
Because sorry to say, but there are some brand names that are being sold directly or being promoted directly to the doctors. And we doctors, as being humans, we have some kind of patronage as well to this kind of brands that we are also trying to prescribe. So from the doctor's point of view, they believe in that particular brand.
Okay.
So that's why, but at the end, that's why we have a generics law, because the consumer has also the right to choose.
And we thank you for being so candid with that,
Yes.
po, because of course it is one of the topics, and of course one of the talking points na talagang pinag-uusapan with certain doctors that who do promote certain brands when it comes to yung choices of medicine nila. But when we talk about popularizing generic medicine, especially here in the Philippines, how do you think that would actually affect yung healthcare industry po natin if more people are, one, aware, and two, really fully maximize yung generic medicine available here in the Philippines? How would that affect yung industry po natin?
Well, number one, first of all, in order for us to obtain quality generic drugs in the country so that it can help a lot of Filipino patients, is to strengthen our regulatory body. That is, when we try to register generic drugs, whether they're branded or not, we should be strict. Therefore, what will be available to the market are those drugs that indeed are good and effective for the Filipino people. Number two, when we have registered it, the regulatory body like FDA should have also a strong way to monitor these drugs that are properly, monitored by the manufacturing agencies or by the manufacturing companies, so that they are able to know whether the drugs that they have manufactured have side effects, and we call it pharmacovigilance or monitoring of the safety of the drugs. So that's why it's a partnership between the manufacturing, the marketing body of the drug, and the FDA, so that we will have an efficacious and effective drugs. At the end of the day, whether they are branded or generic, because of the competition, it's the Filipino will win, because the generic or the branded drugs that they have will be of efficacy and effective. So we need to strengthen the partnership and the regulation here in the country.
Doc, do you feel that there is resistance to generic drugs amongst Filipinos? Or is there a preference for branded? In your experience po, what is the typical reaction?
Yes, because of the highly commercialization also of the branding. But I tell you, as long as they underwent this thorough bioequivalence, bioavailability study, physical, chemical study, all of these are the same. What matters is only how the way they are marketed, they are packaged. At the end of the day, all drugs are similar as long as they abide to these principles.
So September is Generics Awareness Month. Can you tell us, Doc, what are the activities of the Department of Health? Any talks, summits on the calendar?
I don't represent Department of Health, but as far as I know, they try to invite us in forum wherein we speak about the value of generics law. Why we are having generics law? Because we want to educate consumers. As long as the drugs are approved here in the Philippines, as long as they underwent testing by the FDA, as long as they are properly monitored, they are all the same. However, there is a clinical trial. There's what we call a clinical trial showing, however, that if you have been using similar generic from the start and your BP, your condition has been controlled, ensure that the same generic that you are using will be used by you, because there will be fluctuation in case you're going to change from one from the other. So that's also one of the things that we are looking for. So very important for us that generics are all the same as long as, number one, it's approved by the FDA and it comes from a reputable company. Going back to your question, what are the activities of the Department of Health? I think they're going to have some kind of educational awareness campaign to make sure that people will be aware of the value of generics and how the way they choose the proper drug when they come to the stores, which of them they're going to choose. Please take note, it's not about the price as well that we should look at, but how the way these drugs are registered, whether they're efficacious, they're not expired, and they're properly stored in the reputable or to the stores to which you are buying from.
Maraming salamat, Doc Erwin Benedicto. Before we let you go, we normally ask our guests one last question to wrap things up.
Yes, our show is called Beautiful Day. Doc, what makes your day beautiful?
Well, being beautiful is for us to be learned, to be aware, and of course to be educated so that we will know what to choose rightly for ourselves, especially this generic awareness month this month.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Erwin Benedicto, industry veteran, maraming salamat po. Thank you so much for all of your insights and of course sharing more about generics here in the Philippines. Maraming salamat po.
It's my pleasure. Good morning.
I love that. I
learned a lot
I
today.
learned a lot.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I don't know if he misunderstood our last question on what makes your day beautiful instead of, I think yung nasagot niya what makes you beautiful. So, I think it works either way.
Yes.
It works. Kaya maybe we should have that also as a potential question.
Kasi syempre, if you feel beautiful, then your day will automatically be beautiful.
What if you just are?
Pogi problems ang tawag
Anyway,
doon,
so we're gonna
Paolo.
move on.
Yes, we will have more stories for you after the break, plus your horoscope of the day with Master Hans Kua. So don't go away. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. you're still watching Beautiful Day. Is today going to be a lucky day for us or not? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! Beautiful day with me, Bilyonaryo Master Hans ko. Ito po ang horoscope ngayong araw ng Wednesday, September 10. Simulan natin sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat. Maayos ang pakikitungo sa katrabaho. Ipagpatuloy mo lang yan. Green at 4. Kay Ox naman tayo, may bigla ang pagbabago sa schedule. Matutong maging flexible. Blue at 7. Kay Year of the Tiger naman, may sisimulang bagong project na may long-term na benefit. Yellow at 1. Kay Year of the Rabbit naman tayo, matagal mo nang gustong bilhin yan. Pero mas mainam kung mag-aantay ka pa ng konti. Red at 5. Kay Year of the Dragon naman tayo, hindi mo inaasahan ang kilig mula sa taong halos di mo kilala. Orange at 2. Kay Year of the Snake naman tayo, may pagkakaintindihan sa partner. Mainam na kausapin siya ng masinsinan. White at 6. Ito naman, Year of the Horsey, nasa iyo ang spotlight ngayon. I-maximize ang chance na yan. Green at 9. Sa mga Year of the Sheep naman, magiging mas sweet ang partner kung ikaw ang unang magpapakita ng effort. Yellow at 8. Kay Year of the Monkey naman tayo, mag-jogging o kahit brisk walking para gising ang katawan. Red at 3. Kay Rooster naman tayo, may taong gustong bumawi sa pagkukulang. Hear them out. White at 7. Kay Year of the Dog naman tayo, bawasan ang alat, mga salty foods, alagaan ang kidney at ang blood pressure. Blue at 5. Kay Year of the Pig naman tayo, may isang gesture na magpapasaya sa'yo buong araw. Maaaring surprise ito. Green at 6. Paalala lang ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day dito lang po sa Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua.
Thank you as always, Master Hans Kua.
Thanks so much, Master Hans. So we move on to some breaking news. Alex Ayala opens her Sao Paulo Open campaign with a win against France's Yasmin Mansuari, 6-0 and 6-2 in the round of 32 of the Sao Paulo Open on Wednesday morning today. Now, the match we saw the number 61 in the world, Alex Ayala, take down Mansuari, who is ranked 380 in the world. Alex Ayala moves on now to round of 16 on Thursday, where she will face Julia Riera of Argentina, ranked 188 in the world. Of course, Alex Ayala coming off a big win in the Guadalajara WTA 125 and of course carrying that momentum here to Sao Paulo. So congratulations to Alex Ayala.
Wala siyang pahinga, no?
Ganun talaga.
I'm just so amazed
Ganun talaga.
with her relentless energy.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I've been actually trying to invite a good friend, si Francis Casey Alcantara, Nino Alcantara, who was Alex Ayala's doubles partner in the Asian Games, to talk about what it is to actually be a touring athlete. Kasi yung ginagawa ni Alex ngayon, napakahirap.
Yeah.
Imagine mo, she was just in
US
Guadalajara.
Before that,
US
the US
Open. Yeah, she was in
yeah.
US Open in New York. And then after that, she had to go to Guadalajara in Mexico. And then right after that, just a few days after winning, she had to travel to Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Yeah.
So when you take a look at the travel that she has, and of course yung physical exertion, diba? Ibang level talaga. Ba't ka natatawa?
Kasi yung exertion mo sa accent mo, iba eh.
Ano?
Speaking of accents...
Effortless yan. Ano ka ba?
Speaking of accents, in today's vibe check, Wicked star Cynthia Erivo, hindi ba tayo mag-OBB for this?
Oh, actually, meron ba?
Meron nga ba? Do we have an OBB?
Okay, wait lang.
So anyway,
Ito ang vibe check.
yes. So, Wicked star Cynthia Erivo...
Humingi ka ng OBB! Humingi ka ng
kasi,
vibe check animation!
You know, I always get so stressed when there's a pause, when hindi pa siya agad dumalabas. So I feel like, okay, I have to read. Anyway, Wicked star Cynthia Erivo shared a wholesome moment with a Filipino fan during her show in Florida. When the fan yelled, "I love you," Erivo asked about his accent and learned he was from the Philippines. The fan later posted a clip of the warm exchange saying he'll cherish the interaction his whole life. The video has since garnered over 6 million views and 1 million likes on TikTok. Let's watch the full moment here.
I love you, Cynthia.
I love you too. What is that beautiful accent that I heard?
I'm here.
What is this beautiful accent, darling?
I'm Filipino.
Oh, no. What do we speak? Tagalog? Is that what we speak?
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, can I just say, yung
go.
accent niya, it wasn't hardcore.
It wasn't.
It wasn't
Hindi pa nga
hardcore
siya
Pinoy
ganun
accent.
katigas eh,
Hindi
di
siya,
ba?
I love you!
I love you, Cynthia!
I love you! I love
Hindi
you,
pa, hindi nga
Cynthia!
Cynthia eh, Cynthia.
Oo, Cynthia,
Diba?
I love you!
Cynthia. Yeah.
Naalala ko nung FIBA World Cup may nag-viral yung kay Austin Reeves dati. Kasi dating sinasabi ng mga Filipino fans kay Austin Reeves, Austin, you're him! And then, ginaya ng mga NBA players kapag So, I mean, like, ang tigas ng accent natin. Minsan, ha?
And our pronunciations sometimes they're cute, you know, like Connecticut.
Iconic, ha?
Oo,
Iconic
Connecticut,
yung natin.
ano pa ba?
Well, diba yung sabi ko nga, diba? The Conjuring. Kapag
Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Yung mga pronunciation natin. Pero alam mo, it's so nice that Cynthia Erivo na siya yung nag-mention ng Tagalog.
Yes, and she noticed the accent. You know what? There is this travel and lifestyle site, Enjoy Travel. They conducted a reader poll and they ranked the Filipino accent 21st in the world's sexiest accent. Pero in Asia, sa Asian accents, tayo yung first. So our accent is the sexiest.
Grabe, ang sexy pa ng accent natin.
Hindi yata yung Konyo accent eh. That's not
sorry.
it.
Pinoy pa rin yung
It's the
Konyo
Pinoy,
accent,
it's
ha?
the Pinoy accent, yung mga Jodorant or
Jodorant.
Frigidaire, mga gano'n.
Or yung favorite ko na meme,
Ano?
yung like, say it again in your Filipino accent.
Yeah.
Yung say deodorant in your favorite Filipino accent. Jodorant. Wag. But of course, ang galing yung music.
Saan galing yun?
Wow!
Lumalabas lang yun pag may Filipino accent. Oh my gosh, that is so hilarious. But
Of course.
you know what, ay nawala yung ano ko.
Well,
Babasahin
anyway,
ko.
kasi what Anne is about to bring up
Yes,
is the
yes,
fact
yes.
that
Hold on. Let me look for it.
very connected pa rin kay Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia Erivo, because there's gonna be a competition, like a singing competition that's related to Wicked, and I'm looking for it. Mag-adlib ka muna. Go, stretch.
Actually, kanina pa ako nagsistretch eh. And you interrupted me while I was stretching. So, wala na yung flow ko. Pero, mga kababayan, ang sexy ng accent po natin, di ba?
Accent ka muna.
So, yung refrigerator. So, actually, I think yung generic na Filipino accent, apart from lahat ng mga tito natin na nasa abroad, na sinusubukan naman mag-English, there's also the fact that si Senator Manny Pacquiao, when he started out yung career niya, nagiging early viral back in the day, yung mga interview niya because of yung accent, ang tigas eh, in a fun way.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
became siguro yung generic Filipino English accent.
But we have to, kailangan may disclaimer tayo na we're not making fun of
we're not,
the Filipino
we're not.
accent. We're actually saying that it sounds nice and it's distinct
Oo,
in the world.
Napaka-endearing siya eh.
Oo, it
Endearing.
is. It
Oo.
is. Okay, so I found it na. Wicked for Good director John M. Chu, Cynthia Erivo, and Ariana Grande, they are on the lookout for talented Filipinos to sing their version of the iconic For Good duet. So they're calling on people to show their best rendition to be posted on TikTok starting September 15 until October 5. So I'm reading this off the 8list.ph Instagram account. So John is saying they're thanking the Wicked's biggest fans, the Philippines, kasi syempre, we are the singing country, and they're calling on Filipinos to grab their best friend and channel Elphaba and Glinda by singing your own rendition of For Good. Tapos, it's going to be... Akala ko may sasabihin ka, so...
sabihin sana ako eh. Pero
sige, go.
Go na. You were saying.
We are not in sync today, only our clothes.
Nasobrahan na sa fashion statement.
Hindi,
kaya
kasi
wala na
magkakaroon
lahat,
ng they're gonna have like stations set up in different SM malls Tapos, there, I think that's where you can audition or send your entries.
No, and yeah, and to be fair, when Wicked aired here in the Philippines, there was a Filipino group that did come together, or at least nagpa-audition sila to
Yeah.
actually perform renditions
Like a chorale,
of,
right? Yeah.
of Wicked songs. So siguro this might be one of the other ways now to really promote yung part 2 nila.
Yes.
And of course, I'm excited to hear the different versions kasi syempre, For Good is one of the more accessible songs ng Wicked.
Yeah, and people were actually waiting for that during the first movie, but it will appear on the second half
Yes,
of
yes.
the movie, which
and-
is coming out this year. if
Yes,
I'm
and
not
guaranteed
mistaken.
na yung part
Next
2
year.
tapos na yan for good.
November 19 in cinemas. Ooh,
Ayun.
exciting. So malapit na.
Yeah. Okay,
Di-
so
di-
we're gonna wrap things
di
up
ko
now
na
kasi if you noticed when I had the
Oy,
idea
wait,
of singing.
before we go, can we just say hi to people? Sorry na. Okay. Wait, I'm trying to open the live chat there. Michelangelo Buddy 2 says, "Good morning, Ma'am Ann and Prof. Pao, Matini Idol." Matini Idol. And then he said, mukhang hindi kayo nag-usap sa suot niyo ah. And then Chiki says, counting down the days till Christmas again. I think this is 105 days or 106. So there. And then Michael says, comedian pala si Prof. Pao.
And that's a wrap on our show this Wednesday, September 10. Sa lahat na bumate via our live streams on YouTube and Facebook, maraming salamat po. Thank you so much. Tayo na lang yung maging in-sync. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Remember, keep it cool, take it easy.
And I'm Ann Asis-Carilo. Have a great day ahead. And always remember to choose joy and spread love and kindness wherever this day takes you. See you again tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Only here on
Beautiful day!